What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sever the Bond. Welcome back to another edition of Late Night Sever. This is where I sit down with y'all and let y'all know the events of the days in this off season. Today, we are discussing the Ben Simmons Old Man in the Threes podcast episode with Mr. JJ Redick. Now, he went on there and he gushed and he told us everything that we needed to know, every question that we had ever asked. And as I was watching the podcast, I'll be honest with you, I started to come to the conclusion there's not really much we were asking of Ben Simmons outside of three things. And, you know, God bless JJ Redick. He stretched that out for about an hour and a half, and I'm here to give you the abridged version. You know, I have been known for taking something that could be summed up, a topic that can be summed up in a sentence and stretching it out for 14. But, you know, JJ Redick, oh, that man is a mastermind. Him and I could be filibustering right now in the old Senate and House of Republic or whatever that thing's called in Washington or whatever. I should know more. It's just been a minute before I've had a history class, but that's not here there because we could filibuster our way through just about anything, but that's not here there. Welcome back to Nets Republic. Tell a Nets fan to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and before we go any further, please go to netsrepublic.com. Pick you up some good old merch. Get you a hoodie. Y'all know it's getting a little spooky outside. It's getting a little chilly outside. Time to get the hoodies right. Time to get the hoodies proper. The sweatshirts, all that shenanigans. Go to netsrepublic.com and click on the shop icon. Get you some merch. Gosh dang it, but that's neither here nor there. We're in the gosh dang it era, but that's not here nor there. Mr. Ben Simmons. Now, I noticed quite frequently as the video was going on, because I watched it on YouTube. I'm not a psychopath who listens to podcasts on Spotify or something like that. I go onto YouTube, which is the same way I'm assuming you did if you're watching this video, because you're watching on YouTube. You are a YouTube connoisseur with eye. You are not one of those weird people who puts the milk in before the cereal. You watch podcasts on other platforms. It's strictly YouTube around here, but that's not here nor there. Again, hearkening back to yesterday's video at the cool table, at the Nets Republic table, we watch and listen to podcasts on YouTube around here, but that's not here nor there. So as I was watching the video, I learned something about my relationship with Ben Simmons. Now, aside from the fact, and this is honestly a perfect time to put on the Ben 10 watch, but I think I'm going to wait until the season starts before I officially get into that shenanigans. But there's one very important thing I realized about Ben Simmons. I don't like him. You know, and I just feel like that's something that I feel like I should have remembered about that man, but I just completely forgot. I don't like Ben Simmons. I completely forgot the fact that I don't like him. And it's just something about him that just gives off a vibe that's just like, when he talks about the process, when he talks about Philly, when he talks about all that extra shenanigans that just has nothing to do with the Nets, I tend to roll my eyes. And with other players who we've had, when they talk about their past, I'm fascinated. I'm on the edge of my collective seat. I'm sitting here like, agaga? Like I'm sitting here trying to put the pieces together. But with Ben Simmons, anytime they were talking about anything that had nothing to do with the Nets, I'm not going to lie, I was catching Z's. I caught myself doing one of these numbers. You feel me? Because I just don't care. And maybe it's my hatred of Philly, I don't know, but I don't care about the process. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to run you down everything the man said, both Nets related and not Nets related. And for the true core, actual Nets content, we will wait for tomorrow. But just to go over what Ben Simmons says, here we go. Bear with me. It was boring. I'm going to save you an hour and a half. Let go. So, Mr. Ben Simmons, when asked about what happened in Philadelphia, he said that basically, and this was kind of co-authored by JJ Redick a little bit, but he basically said that after the series with the Atlanta Hawks, I believe this was the same year we played the Bucks, I think. I'm pretty sure that was the same year, but that's not here nor there. After that series, he felt as if a good majority of his teammates and Doc Rivers, he didn't name any names outside of Doc Rivers, but threw him under the bus and basically blamed the entire series on him. And through that left him so uncomfortable and so much in a bad headspace. This is not the mental health part, just the general team vibes, that he didn't want to come back. The only reason why he went to training camp the following season, which we have the infamous clip of him just standing there uninterested with an alleged cell phone in his pocket, which he explained that was not a cell phone, it was his jersey, which I don't know how you can confuse a jersey in someone's pocket with a cell phone, unless you got that Pro Max, because if you got the Pro Max, and I can totally understand, that thing is a clipboard, but that's neither here nor there. Saying that he went over to training camp because he wanted to know Spike Lee do the right thing, and he wanted to show up and at least try. He told Doc Rivers in the beginning of the practice that he was not interested in being there and his heart wasn't in it, but Doc Rivers still singled him out and had the nerve to ask the man to practice at practice. Well, Ben Simmons didn't take too kindly to that, and he, opposed to it, and Mr. Doc Rivers kicked him out of practice, and that was around the time that he realized that this whole experience was from the planetiferal era, and there was a giant 7-foot monster in front of him, and the 7-foot monster looked down upon him, and he said, "Gosh dang it, monster, what do you need from me?" And the monster said, "I'm gonna need a boo tree fitty." Tree fitty? No, just the kind of stuff you would expect. Ben Simmons didn't want to be there. Doc Rivers was trying to get him to do stuff. Ben wasn't really trying to do anything. So Doc Rivers kicked him out of the practice, and he felt some type of way about it. There was apparently no flight where everybody got on the plane and went over to California to try and convince him to stay. Apparently that never happened. There was no communication whatsoever outside of a few teammates here and there. And I believe those quote-unquote few teammates would include Seth Curry, seeing as though they're teammates right now and seem to get along pretty gosh darn well, but that's not here or there. But basically putting closure to that. Going towards the actual falling out, Ben just simply didn't want to be there any longer, and he didn't really care where he went. He just wanted to get out of there. So when everything went through and we traded him for Harden and all that switchity stuff, he didn't really care much about who was moved and why he was being moved. He just wanted to leave and have a fresh start here in Brooklyn. Not to get too far ahead in the story, but according to his account, when the playoffs were here and he was trying to come back for game 4, he was in practice, but he was in so much pain. He had so much pain in his back, allegedly, that and I really shouldn't say allegedly because he said it, so he had so much pain in his back that he wasn't able to play, and he was literally on the floor in pain. He told us that he hurt his back going up the stairs, but he had always had back issues for quite some time going back. It just got a little bit out of control, and him and JJ started going back and forth about how, you know how it is when you have chronic pain, and, cool, whatever, bet. Ben Simmons says that there was no group chat. He never left a group chat, which we all knew was fake, but just to throw it out there, he said that that's not how that went. The time where they ran up on Ben Simmons at the mall, at the candy store, Bob, candy store, tell him, make me a grill. Go smile for me, baby, what you looking at? But I want to see your grill. I want to see your what? Get grill, get grill. Go rob the store, tell him they need a grill. When they ran up on him at the candy store, in the mall, which we made that video about a month ago. Apparently that video itself was a month old prior to that. And he denied the rumors that he rented out the mall or the candy store and that he was simply just searching for candy after he just got out of getting hair products from Sephora, which can we just stop for a second and pause and say Ben Simmons gets his hair products from Sephora? I feel like that should have been the title of this video, but that's not even there. But that it was weird because he ran up on Ben, but he was using like the Google glasses, which I didn't even know he still did that, but cool. And the glasses were the thing recording Ben Simmons running up on him, calling him Westbrook and such. So that was a weird experience that Ben Simmons was not particularly a fan of for obvious reasons. He addressed his jump shot, and I'm sure I'm going to leave something out. I'm just trying to go through the gauntlet of random things that they spoke about. He talked about his jump shot and lack thereof and said that his particular game doesn't really need one because he's more so interested in shot creating for other people than shot creating for himself, though he does value scoring and assist equally, whatever, cool. He says that jokingly he might attempt a couple more threes if that is what is being asked of him. He's just coming from a system where it wasn't necessary and no one asked him to do so, and there was a little bit of confusion, be it Brett Brown, Jesus, or Doc Rivers, just a bunch of stuff that I just don't care about. And it's not that I don't care I don't care in general, but it's not like I don't care because I don't like him on our team. I don't mind him being on our team. Tomorrow we're going to talk about all the positives of him being on our team and his viewpoint of where he thinks he can fit in and all that shenanigans. It's just the standpoint that 90% of the interview is Philly, 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 and it was like 2% of Nets, Philly, 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 Nets. And I just don't care. I don't care about the process. I don't care about what they're doing in Philly. I don't care about his relationships with the fans and stuff like that. I'm here for the Nets. I'm here to talk about the Nets. And I mean, this is something for if you are really interested and intrigued with Ben Simmons, the person. If you want to know all about him and what he's doing with his time and his extracurricular activities and such of that matter, then by all means, as the kids say, tap in and watch this hour-and-a-half long interview. But if you're just simply looking for the bits and pieces of what he's going to do for the Nets, I gotta be honest with you, there really wasn't that much. Now, I will stretch content out and definitely go over the points that he made because there are some X's and O's type things, but just for the juice, just for the tea, just for the drama, just for the goils, you feel me? I'm giving the girls Paris. I'm giving you the juicy details of what I suppose you would want. He even went over the particular moment in the series against the Hawks where he could have dunked the ball, but he passed it. And it was basically what everyone alluded to and was speculating. He did the spin move into a Hawks jersey, didn't know who it was, saw someone cutting, made the wrong read, and there goes the series. He was not happy with the fact that he was blamed for all of it when he feels like he's the driving force of the engine, which we will talk about tomorrow in greater detail. But again, just for the tea and for the you feel me? That's basically everything that went down, and that's basically everything that he talked about. If you are interested by any of that, I am not. Making this video, I almost fell asleep 3 times. I just don't care about what's happening in this man's life, which is very ironic because of the amount of Kyrie Irving videos I make, but I don't care. I really don't. The only thing that I found interesting was the fact that he was, willingly explaining the fact that there is indeed a Nets group chat and they were not speaking in the playoffs, which is a little concerning, but I guess when you're all together, no High School Musical, don't worry, I won't sing it. I guess there's no need to speak in the group chat. I'm not really sure. My work group chat is insane, and not just the Nets Republic one. I'm speaking about my actual work one. It's pretty popping in there, like Lil Mama's lip gloss, but that's not here and there. I won't sing that one either, though I am tempted. But like, comment, subscribe, sever the bond. You're on Nets Republic. If there's anything I missed as far as the gossipy stuff, then feel free to leave it down below. I'm sure you will. Something I have a question for if you made it this far in the video is, as longtime Nets fans, which most of you are, I have to ask you, are you over the series in the first round a couple years ago with D'Lo and them? Have y'all moved past that? Because if I went through that series, I don't think I would be able to forgive homie. If Paul George and Roy Hibbert, randomly went over to the Knicks with Melo, I don't think I would forgive that. I think I'd still feel salty. As a matter of fact, to this day, anytime I see Frank Vogel, I just immediately start spitting like a llama. I can't stand him for what he did, but that's not here nor there. Are y'all just over that? Did y'all just see this video and just be like, oh, Ben's cool in my book? Did you just get over it? Because I don't think I would if I went through what I went through. Well, if I went through what y'all went through, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. But that's not even there. Let me know your thoughts on all this shenanigans down below, and I will see you not you. I will see you tomorrow to speak more to what Ben Simmons was saying as far as his place on the team and not so much the TMZ gossipy foolishness. I'll see y'all then. It's almost Friday, y'all.